Hey, what's up, people? So yeah, this piece has been sitting out for a while. It's at the leather hard stage, which means it feels a little bit tough on the outside, but you can still press and leave an indentation. So that's your confirmation that the clay on the inside is very, very soft, even if the outside feels like a boulder. You know, you've got a lot of leeway to go ahead and start really finessing your piece and finalizing details and laying everything in for what's going to be, you know, the final look. So that's the part that you're always excited to get to. All right, so what's going on now at this part? Cleaning, finessing, getting everything at the level of smoothness that you want, uniformity. I don't feel like talking a lot, so I hush now. I realize that the positioning of this magnifying glass light is probably blocking a lot for you. I'm sorry about that. Really nothing I can do because I need to be able to see what I need to be able to see. And sometimes that's going to interfere with what you're going to be able to see. So again, sorry for that, but when it can't be avoided, it can't be avoided. All right, I'm gonna stop here, 34 minutes because I want to have my cookies and milk. Yes, I know. What are you, 10 and a half? Pretty much. That's my little treat. And my treats are gonna be very minimal because I'm trying to cut back again. Um, just take a little better care of myself. But this life ain't much if you can't have some indulgences. So I know the key is not to overdo it, which is what I always do, because I only have two settings. I'm either doing all the way right or I'm doing all the way wrong. I do not know how to navigate the middle ground, but I'm going to have to learn. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to take this on a spin, move this light out of the way. Here's where we are right now. And right now I am just smoothing everything out and getting them ready for completion. This is a very interesting piece. I love the lines of it. I love the oneness of it. I love the kinship of it. I love the spirit of it. Everything. It's just a really, really beautiful piece, and I knew it was going to be. I'm going to share the sketch with you guys on the last video for this when it's, just about done, because I'd like you to see how closely I was able to get the vision. And it wasn't meant to be exact. It definitely needed to have the vibe, and I'm very happy with that. I think I definitely captured the vibe of my sketch, and nothing was lost in translation, and that's a big deal. All right, so let me go have my treat, and then I'll be back in a few. Peace. All right, I am going to stop here now. It is time for my nap, so I can come back invigorated and ready to put the finishing touches on this, which I'll just be going over areas, making sure that the lines are clean. This is going to be left out, uncovered while I take my nap, and it'll get even more into the leather hard stage, and I'll just be able to chisel out fine details without the stickiness of the clay and creating so much debris like I'm doing now. Also, I'm trying to test to see if it'll come off on its own, but it's not quite ready for all of that yet. But it will eventually be ready to separate itself from the bottom. If not, I'll go ahead and remove it. I prefer for it to separate itself from the bottom because then that means that the underside has gotten leather hard, and that's what's going to cause it to release its hold. And then I'll know that I can handle this really easily, and then I'll be able to flip it upside down and finesse all of the undersides of this piece and, you know, like I said, just get it really, really nicely cleaned up. So, but when it's nap time for me, I take them. That's the luxury of the weekend. Make the most of it. Take those naps, people. All right, so let's do a quick spin. Put her in a different light for you. I don't know if that's centered enough to not go off of the frame. So here we are, spinning the hug. Love to know what you think of when you look at this piece. How does it resonate for you? As you can see, I bumped into some areas and gouged it. That's no problem. You spot it, you fix it. So I'm fixing this right now. Okay, now let's complete the spin. All right, I'm gonna take a few photos of it at this stage. And when I get back from my nap, I look forward to, I think, finishing this piece up, and I think it'll be ready for it to go out to dry, to be put out to dry. Yeah, tonight. I don't foresee a problem with that. Once I can get up underneath, because I've got to see, there's a lot of sloppy areas that I'm unable to see right now, so. Alrighty. Calling it at 36 minutes and 23 seconds. Catch y'all on the flip side. Peace. Last sculpt of the night. Had my nap and just want to get this really nicely cleaned up and finished so that I can put it out on the patio to start the drying process. So let's get right into it. Very self-explanatory. No need for any narration. This is at the stage of very, very leather hard. Still a lot of wet clay on the inside of here. I am actually going to keep this one real quick as a solid sculpture. What I mean by that is that there's not going to be any hollowing out. I'm not going to go in here and hollow out clay area. So this is really going to need to dry completely for a long time. I'm going to say an estimate is going to be about 3 months. It may be a little bit longer. So in terms of EOS online art sale, Element of Surprise online art sale, our first one is coming up next month, and then it's going to be every other month. So the next one will be in December, and then the next one will be in February. So let's say October, November, December. This one is going to be available for you guys to purchase on the February online sale. So if you have your eyes on this one, that's just a little spoiler alert to let you know that that's when it's going to be available. It has not been priced. It's not finished. Of course, you know, the ultimate test is it's got to survive the kiln in order to be available to anyone, including myself. So hopefully this survives the kiln, and you'll get a first opportunity to acquire it at the Element of Surprise online art sale, where all of my work is premiered at a very, very, very affordable price. And if it's not acquired during the sale, it goes onto the website at its regular price, and that's where it lives until some lucky collector or buyer decides it's the piece they have to have. So you get an opportunity to watch all of these sculptures from the beginning and know what goes into the creation of them, and possibly it gives you a slightly different relationship with it, having, you know, watched it be born. All right, so I hush now, and we concentrate on the cleaning up. am missing a tool. I don't know if it dropped or what, but gotta find it. It's a needle tool. I just need to get into a crevice, an area where the slip got sort of caked up, and I just need to scrape along that area and make it neater, or make it neat, because it's not presently neat. And I can't find the tool. Yep, don't know where I put it. This is fun. Okay, just found it. It was on the table behind me. I can't remember what I was doing with it, but clearly I was doing something, so there's that. And I'm just scraping away the excess, and I'm using the needle tool as a scraper. You can use a lot of tools for myriad reasons. You just get in there and figure it out. You know, it's funny because for me, there are sometimes these little areas of a drawing or a sculpture that end up occurring, and it's such an insignificant little area for most people, but the creator's eye goes to it constantly because it's an area that just almost has a life of its own, or it came out slightly different than you expected, but in the best way. I can think of two of my works offhand. There's an old pencil drawing that I did of Mary J. Blige, and the likeness is spot on. It looks like her. The eyes are a little too large, so maybe I shouldn't have used the term spot on. Most people don't notice that the eyes are too large. They think that the eyes are just very expressive. They look expressive because they're too large. So I know that. Most people don't care about that, and they're not about to argue with me about what they like, but that's not what draws me to that illustration. There is a patch of sunlight on Mary's jacket in the photo that I was working from. And that patch of sunlight on the jacket looks so realistic in the drawing that I can almost swear I feel the warmth of the sunlight. I feel like if I touch it, it's going to be warm, like the sun is shining on it. So that's one. There's another piece that I have, very old painting, and one of the largest that I had done, that just has a vibe and flavor all its own, called Breeze at the Bus Stop. Now, the focus is on this very dynamic character sitting, chilling, smoking a something at the bus stop. He has on lemon pepper steppers, a blue, practically a zoot suit from back in the day, but it's not back in the day, it's contemporary. He is just an old head who still has old head wardrobe, and he's chilling, and his swag is undeniable, and he's at the bus stop all by himself. His foot is propped up on a crate, one shoe is off, he has brightly colored socks on underneath this blue suit, and you would think that that would be enough. But to focus on, or find some sort of area that you like in there. Nope, the area that I am in love with is a piece of balled up newspaper all the way in the back, up against the wall, that's just, you know, debris, the type of debris that you see around the city when people throw their trash on the street instead of wait until they get to a garbage can. And there's this piece of newspaper, and it just looks so real, so, I don't know, just so part of a familiar environment. Well, at least for me, coming from the bricks where I saw, you know, trash in the streets all the time. And my part on this, let's move it into the present. This wasn't a plan. I ended up deciding that I wanted to indicate a little bit of a hand right here. Now, there's no other indication of hands anywhere else. The hand just morphs, sort of blends into the bodies. I'm going to turn it around. Blends. This is a shoulder, arm coming around. Boom. Hand just blends. This one, I decided to make this little ledge, this crevice, this indentation. And there is something about that that I love. I love that I made that choice. I really, really do. Yeah, there's just something so incredible about that to me. And I would never be able to describe it. It's just something that I'm always going to look at and pat myself on the back for, that nobody else is going to be thinking about. Isn't that incredible? And I've decided that I want a little bit of a ledge right here as well. So let's mark that in and make it happen. Just a little. So, in my eyes, she is something like perfect. So what we're gonna do now is lightly mist her and lightly brush over her. Let me first get rid of the debris that's once again accumulating because I keep working and going back in and adding little details. But I am about to stop that now. So I'm just brushing off the excess. Yeah. All right, so that is going to be it for the night. We are clocking out at 46 minutes and 24 seconds. Just going to give it some different lighting, although I'm going to take some photos of it and take it for a spin. That is the hug. I'm very proud of this piece. It's unusual for me, not to be proud of a piece, but there are certain sculptures where I make a very concerted effort to step out of the comfort zone of developing a particular style. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just like to experiment with a lot of different looks. And every once in a while, I'll experiment with a look like that, and I run up on something where it's almost like, did I really create that? I love it, but that looks like the creation of someone else that I would admire at a time when I'm thinking, I hope I get to that level. And this is definitely one of those pieces for me. I cannot wait to color it. I think I'm going to do a few replicas of this just because, I don't know, there's something about the power of a hug, especially if you're someone who has been denied it and you long for that connection, that touch, and when you see it bestowed, it's just a really, really beautiful thing. Now, we're far from done with finessing. I'm waiting for this to separate from the base so that I can pick this up, turn it around, and go in and clean the undersides and make sure everything is nice and smooth. And I can't see any of that right now, so it's going to have to wait. And that's about it. So tomorrow I'll start on a new sculpture. I think I'm in the mood to do another vessel goddess. So I'll work on that. I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. Very well rested. And tomorrow is back to the grind. So I'll catch up with you then. Peace.